What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with Married to Medicine, Season 12, Episode 14, Gala Mishaps. Before I start, y'all make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the video so I can stay in the algorithm, okay? All right, let's just go ahead and get this over with. So we get the montage of all the ladies, doing their doctor thing. So then we get the scene with Jackie and Simone that we've always gotten since season 1, with them sitting at a bench eating salad, sandwiches, or this time they had a smoothie. They always eating something, talking about what's going on. So Simone said Toya and Eugene did a great job for the couple trip. Simone also tells Jackie how Big Nasty showed his natural behind with King at the couples trip when they separated the men from the women. Jackie didn't know until they were returning and they were on their way to the airport. She overheard Big Nasty asking Steve, "If you do you think I offended King?" You did. If you have to ask that question, Big Nasty, you know you was offensive. Okay, and don't get me started on that apology that you gave them people. And Jackie had to collect you and gather you real quick. Okay? So Jackie said in her confessional that men shouldn't be making comments about women's health. Yes, Jackie, because you have done enough of that. Okay? You're fertile, right, Buffy? You're infertile, right, Buffy? Is that a thyroid? Girl. We're not even going to talk about you in Heavenly. Talking about people was faking, being in pain when they're pregnant. Black women. Okay, black people that look like me. So, anyway, fine. Jackie texts Quad, and she apologized on Big Nasty's behalf. Big Nasty need to be apologizing, not you. But fine, you're going to stick beside him as you've always done and got nothing. Jackie says Toya sent over 100 messages, I guess, to all of the ladies. And Jackie said, we have to protect the integrity of the Med Gala. Jackie, you shouldn't have passed this on to Toya. I hold you fully responsible. You're fully responsible for this. You did not take the reins. Jackie said she told Toya it was going to go left. With the whole her and Toya being the founders. Toya, you just got on this Mad Gala for 5 seconds after never donating money, but always wanting to donate that nasty ass wine. Girl, get out of our face. Now you acting like you King Dingaling. Because you was acting like a real dickhead. Okay, and I'm going to say that 3 more times. So anyway, Jackie, you should have stepped in. This was your Mad Gala. But you decided to act passive-aggressive and lie and be on BS this entire time. Anyway, Simone said Toya refused to add Brandy, Mimi, and Angel, but expected them to pay for the scholarship fund. Simone, you sure got a lot of mouth, and then at the end of this, you was talking totally different when you was in Toya face. Girl, please. So anyway, Simone said Toya needs to learn how to be inclusive, and she does not. Toya made this all about Toya. Thank you, Dr. Contessa. You good for something. You ain't good at dressing, okay? And judging by that dress you had on and all the dresses you have wore throughout this entire season, baby, you ain't good for that. But you actually was good with this little piece of information. All right? So then we get to Mimi and Steve. Mimi and Steve are building a new home, 5 bedrooms, over 5,000 square feet. Their forever home, and I'm not mad at it. Y'all know they already got the coin. So they talk about Stevie, and they're going to keep Stevie in his school in addition to intense ABA. And they also have been putting Stevie in speech therapy, and because of that, his behavior has improved. Stevie's improving with Savannah as well. They also want to put him in organized sports with his typical peers, not like with people that share the same special needs, if that makes sense. Yeah, so the people that should say the kids that share, that have special needs, they're gonna have him be in sports with that. And I really think that Mimi and Steve are really good when it comes to their parenting. I'm glad that they are on this platform and they are talking about this on TV, because there are a lot of mothers, especially single mothers, that don't know, they don't have a lot of resources, or they, you know, they just need some type of encouragement. And I feel like Mimi and Steve had brought that on to the show as they have this conversation about Stevie. Not only that, it's not just parents, it's husband and wives and all of that. And not only that, there are also caregivers that care for people that have special needs as well. So I just want to say, because again, y'all know every time I don't talk about this because it makes me emotional. I don't have a special needs kid, but I have a heart for people. And so I just always want to say shout out to Mimi, for those parents that are out there that, that have special needs kids. Shout out to y'all. Like, it takes a special type of person to deal with kids with special needs. I send y'all prayers, love, and everything else. Y'all know I can't stay on this long. So then we get to Toya and Eugene. So Eugene has an office which is close to home. The way Eugene finna take the MARTA home. Okay, shout out to the MARTA. Y'all ain't think I knew that. Okay, I went to Atlanta one time. And I heard about the MARTA. Okay. So anyway, Toya is bossy, like super bossy to Eugene. This is the same attitude she had when they threw the housewarming party. She was an ass. Like, she was a dickhead to Eugene, and this is what she's doing now. And he was like, you're being very bossy. Eugene, I never say this about Eugene, and I mean never. This was the very first time I had to say something about Eugene. This season, Eugene has showed his natural ass. Okay? He in some instances he has. Sometimes I get it. But this, yeah, he was doing the most. So, anyway, Toya is out of her rabbit ass mind. She done changed the venue without talking to the ladies. She is not sharing any details. Contessa said Toya want their money and she's going to do what she want, and they don't need to ask any questions. Where is the money, LaShondra? Y'all got to go find that on TikTok. And then LaShondra not even her real name. I'm sorry. Just type in "where's the money, LaShondra" on TikTok, okay? Anyway, so Mimi is on the phone with Heavenly, and Mimi said, y'all supposed to be having board meetings, committee plannings, voting board members, voting on the budget, subcommittees, finance, event planning, scholarship committees. She was like, y'all got that? Heavenly said, nah, baby, we don't have that. Because everybody got tired of Toya. And yes, the venue was nice. The venue was beautiful. The decor was absolutely beautiful. But the planning of this was a shit show. And the money, you could have done better with the money that y'all raised. You was only able to help 2 people. Y'all can miss me with that. Anyway, Toya is having a conversation with Eugene. She said, I've been met with disrespect. I've been shut down. At this point, your expectations of the rest of the ladies are crazy. You came in the way you came in. And granted, I wish that they had not appointed Toya in order to see her fail. That was wrong. I'm going to stand on that. That was wrong. However, you made this about you. This was the Toya show, which is why you didn't have enough money, which is why you couldn't secure a venue in time. It became more of you and less of us because you are so insecure that you want everybody to applaud you. That's the same thing you did at your housewarming party. Anyway, so Toya, I feel like Toya wants praise, but again, you didn't include Mimi, but you want those people money. You want Mimi to offer her services because she found out that Mimi would specialize in certain areas that could have actually helped Toya. You felt like Mimi should have told you, but ma'am, aren't you the chairperson? Aren't you the HBIC? This is where you go to all the ladies to see what is everybody's strengths and what are everybody's weaknesses. But you did not. Any good leader would do that. And a place that you're stronger at, that's where I'm going to put you. I'm going to put everybody in a place that they're strong at. You decided to snatch this under Jackie's nose and do whatever you wanted because, again, you're tired of everybody seeing you the way you're tired of these ladies looking at you the way they do. They've been looking at you like this for 12 seasons. They ain't gonna never respect you. They like you, they tolerate you, but they do not respect you. Anyway, Jackie, I blame you 100%. You allowed all of this chaos and you didn't say nothing, but you're complaining just like you did last season. You let Phaedra do what Phaedra was going to do and you started complaining to everybody else. So at this point, the Met Gala can go to hell. Okay. I'm getting better because I'm not sending other people to hell. Anyway, I just want Eugene to know that his wife is a dickhead. Okay? So we get to Simone and her family. Cecil is cooking. They're having a do-over of what we saw prior in the season. Okay? So Michael said she apologizes to Michael for, I guess, I don't know. I wouldn't apologize to Big T. I wouldn't apologize to little baby Bugs Bunny. But anyway, she said that she felt disrespected by Michael, and she did. Okay, so both Michael and Cecil apologize, and I just feel like y'all just trying to apologize because y'all need y'all breadwinner, and y'all know where y'all butter is bread. I mean, y'all bread is it? Y'all know where y'all bread is buttered. So anyway, Toya, again, you excluded the ladies, so your dickhead ass can get credit. I don't know why I said that. But I know why I said that because I needed to put that in there. So Contessa and Scott. Contessa, girl, what do you have? Again, one thing Contessa gonna do is dress like she finna go walk up Harry Hines. Okay? Or Sunset Boulevard. Okay? Up anybody alley. Okay? For $40 and charging $40. That's what Contessa be giving. So anyway, Contessa said that 2 days ago, Toya disclosed the Met Gala information. So 48 hours, you decided to give these ladies the information on the Met Gala? That is some crazy work. But then, Contessa said, she can pat herself on the back. Oh, no. I'm sorry. This is what I said. Toya can pat herself on the back to pull off $10,000 and give 2 scholarships. And I was like, that's it? Like, the way you were acting, I was expecting a whole lot more. But we already knew you or your husband was going to go in your pocket and give more money. You wasn't going to do that. So anyway, the core group paid $2,500 each. The newbies purchased tickets for the exception of Steve and Mimi. Toya said she almost invited Phaedra. Girl, and I don't even like Phaedra, but if I was her, you would have called, you would have been blocked if you thought you was gonna call my phone for these bitches over here in my Phaedra voice. Anyway, Contessa said They asked questions. They asked Toya questions, and she didn't want to answer anything. She basically just wanted everybody money. She also said Toya wanted to shine, but when it comes to philanthropy, you gotta get out of your own way, and that's what Toya failed to do, which goes back to you only raising $10,000. Anyway, Contessa said Toya had a diva attitude, and she did, and it was self-serving, and it was. Toya, now, Jackie, I blame you. Anyway, baby, when I tell y'all, Toya face card, she's a beautiful woman. She's a dickhead, but she's a beautiful woman. It was nice. Everything was nice. The pictures was nice, yada, 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 etc., etc. I'm getting ready to land this, okay? Because I just want to take a shower, take some medicine, and go to bed. Anyway, Simone congratulates Toya for a job well done, and I feel like that's all Toya wanted. And Mimi and Steve wasn't aware that they needed to get a ticket in order to get in. So they come to the door, they couldn't get in. And so Eugene, the lady goes to get Eugene. Eugene asked them, are you guys going to buy a ticket? And Steve was like, well, we paid for a bowl. We didn't pay to get in last year. And we paid for a bowl last year. I'm like, sir, that was last year. Eugene says, yesterday prices are not today's prices. Give me your $300 and you can end talk. I was like, Eugene, this is ridiculous. Anyway, Simone and Toya are talking about, well, Simone goes up to Toya and say, do you see what Heavenly have on? And no, Simone said, did you see Heavenly? Toya said, did she fly in on her broom? Then Simone said, oh, you're going to be mad when you see what she have on. And I'm just like, why? Anyway, the heifers got wings on a stick, and Heavenly wanted to know how much how much was collected and what went towards the scholarship, which I wasn't mad about it. I would have asked them same questions. So Steve goes back to Eugene and tell him, listen, I don't appreciate being single, myself and my wife being singled out. It felt like it was deliberate. I felt the same way too. So again, Toya shows herself to be another dickhead, which I think I said this 5 times and it was supposed to be 3, but it was probably 5 times. And the way she tried to talk to Steve, and Steve was like, listen, I don't argue with women. I'm gonna talk to your husband. Because you can look at Steve's face. He was just like, oh my God. So I'm looking at her, girl, like, you can't talk to these people the way you talk to him. Eugene can deal with this, but you can't talk to these people. This ain't Phaedra. So anyway, the way Toya was acting, like, again, I'm gonna reiterate, just these last 2 seasons of the Met Gala, you gonna sit here and act like you and your man ain't donate wine those 3 years, and y'all have the biggest audacity. But when I tell y'all that's some crazy work to me, that is some crazy work to me. So Steve tell them that, they did things in poor taste, and I agree. I'm sorry, but I do feel like Toya and Eugene was wrong. I feel like they was trying to humble them. I don't know if they were trying to embarrass them, humble them. I don't know. But they both I felt like both Toya and Eugene didn't really have a leg to stand on. And Toya was like, Toya told them, well, y'all needed a ticket. Y'all knew y'all needed a ticket. Apparently they didn't know about it. So Mimi said, based on her conversation with Brandy and the other ladies, that they wasn't aware. Toya said Brandy paid for a ticket to date. Toya, that's your friend, and you mean to tell me she paid for a ticket the date of, which further lets me know you didn't relate that information and in a timely manner. You didn't do anything in a timely manner. So anyway, She claimed Simone purchased 10 tickets. Now, unless I didn't see 10 people riding with Simone, I feel like Simone purchased 10 tickets because she was trying to help her friend. Girl, please. So anyway, Kirk raggedy self arrived, and Quad said in her confessional that Kirk frustrates her to no end. And I just want to point out, she did not call him King. She called him Kirk. I'm just saying. So then Big Nasty gathered up the crew and apologized to both Quad and King. He was like, well, if I offended Big Nasty, you offended these people. You were very offensive, and you were very strong in your stance, and you was loud and wrong. Okay? So Jackie said, Jackie decided to tell him, wait, you can't say if. That's not an apology, and told him how to apologize. Jackie, stop helping this grown ass man. Okay? Big Nasty was wrong. Okay? So Simone in her teeth decided to piss me off again, because she's sitting here talking to Toya, and it's like, don't listen to these people. And I'm just looking at Simone like, girl, this is why Toya only raised $10,000, baby. When I tell y'all God don't like ugly, and he ain't too fine or pretty, and I don't even like doing all of that. But yeah, anyway, this was all Toya centered. The event was the event space was beautiful. The pictures was all beautiful. The decor, beautiful. Would never take it away. But I am going to say this one more time. Her dickhead attitude was what couldn't bring the women together. And I'm glad this season is over. This is not a sisterhood, because the way they finna cut up at this reunion, okay, I am of the belief that a couple people won't be coming back next season. So then Michael tells Simone, he ain't speaking to nobody. So I don't know if he was talking about Jackie, or I don't know if he was talking about Heavenly. But ma'am, tell your son to mind his business, because if these ladies go at his son, and Heavenly, if these people go at your son, you're gonna scream and yell and get mad. Okay? Anyway, Heavenly says she ain't even mad at Simone no more, because she knows Simone can hold a grudge, and we know that. Simone can go, Jackie can go, whoever else y'all think you can go, I don't give a damn. All of them can go as far as I'm concerned. Okay? I don't want to see King no more. Y'all do not have to bring Bernard up here no more. Okay? So Quad asked him to dance. He don't want to dance. Baby, at this point, Quad is done with King. I'm glad that relationship is over. Because so am I. I'm over it. This was a decent season. It wasn't bad. Okay? I didn't have to. I felt like last season I cursed in every review. Anyway, it's only going to be a 2-part reunion. Okay, thank you, Jesus. After I kept calling people out of their name, then I'm going to call the Lord's name. Girl, you is wrong, Erica. Anyway, it's going to be a 2-part reunion. That's all I got. So with all of that being said, this is your girl, Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.